globally, we see an increasing demand for high-quality protein. In most cases, this protein comes from poultry, fish farming, pork, beef, and of course dairy, and those industries are under pressure to satisfy demand and also make sure that the environmental footprint of protein production is sustainable. So the global balance ought to be around 50% of protein from animals and about 50% of protein from plants. We need this balance for a healthy and sustainable diet. Right now, the balance is about 60-40. It needs to be about 50-50. So there are some adjustments that need to be made. No one is talking about removing animal proteins entirely. It is really all about redressing the balance. Many plant crops are actually deficient in some essential amino acids. For example, maize is deficient in tryptophan and lysine. As a result, manufacturers who are trying to use plant proteins in their products are very careful to mix and match proteins from various sources to make sure that all the amino acids are represented and the resulting protein is of high quality. There's an index. It's called PDCAS, Protein Digestibility Corrected Amino Acid Score. For example, dairy has a PDCAS of 1.0. Soy has a PDCAS of 0.92. But as you go down to some plant proteins from rice and wheat, PDCAS drops. So it is actually very important to rely on technical innovation to make sure that proteins come from multiple sources from plants and are of high quality. Dairy proteins, animal proteins carry with them a number of interesting nutrients. For example, dairy protein brings together what I call lactonutrients, bone-building nutrients, including calcium, vitamin D, phosphorus, and magnesium. Plant-based milks, like almond milk, have none of that. So they need to be fortified with protein, calcium, vitamin A, vitamin D, sometimes vitamin B12. So again, manufacturers need to make sure that not only the protein content is high, but also fortification patterns are appropriate and they provide adequate nutrients. I would say we need to adopt voluntary guidelines and voluntary standards. I think regulatory agencies, the Food and Drug Administration, the European Food Safety Authority, the Codex Alimentarius are already thinking about that. We need to have standards of identity, we need to have standards for protein quality and for fortification. And then we can unleash technological innovation and provide affordable, nutrient-rich, plant-based ingredients for all.
Dell's mission is to offer healthier and more responsible food for all. To tackle the food challenge that we have today, we have decided to diversify our activity to complete our dairy and fruit businesses with a plant-based offer. To make that happen, we are developing pure plant-based products with the launch, for example, of the Nourish range recently across the world. And we are working as well on our core brands to be able to deliver plant-based products. This is one of the first way to rebalance the diet. The other way is to complement the cheese with vegetable or legumes, and it's what we have done on the Lofinco, for example, with the blends launched in the US very recently. We want to do that in a very sustainable way. So to make that, we have decided to work on the nutritional profile and the nutritional composition of our product. So we have asked to international experts to advise us to create high nutrition standard to apply to our ranges. First. Secondly, we are working to make sure that we have the shortest ingredient list possible. And third, we are working on the quality of protein, selecting the best sources to address the population needs.